Alright, gonna try some explanation for mixed metals and how I use the magnetics to make the thing work. Basically, there's your diagram of how to make a rotation using basically electromagnet, and what the center section basically is. It's just a big rotating left direction magnet for charging the moisture. Next one, kind of the same thing. It's just how the plates were put together. Steel, then aluminum, then steel. Kind of go from there. And there is the wiring harness underneath of it. It's explained a little bit better in the later in the video, but right now let's just say that it's, multiple figure eights adding one connector every time you do a circulation, so it's up and back and up and back, and it's a lot of wiring. But the next one, all right, same thing. I'm using the steel and aluminum down to the aluminum plate, which is a thin piece of aluminum, so it's steel on top with an aluminum piece, then steel underneath of that, and then another aluminum piece, so that I don't eat away the capacitor plate, because you figure after a while it's just going to use that for fuel as well. Alright, then the whole system is starting to test it to see how things fit. This is when I started making the foam sacrificial so that I could put the mortar mix, which is basically regular mortar, and then I drilled out a piece of steel and took all the dust and mixed it with the mortar so that I would have a magnetic mortar, so that it was also conductive. So I'll get back to the next one. All right, these are the tubes that I was talking about. This is basically a bit of the same cement. Got the hole in it for the steam, and then got the post in there for, for the voltage, including the aluminum outside skin. So just making sure that they're charged when they leave the system. Next is no particular order. It's just the way that I set the numbers up so that you get a single wrap per figure 8, and then you add another one and you add another one, and basically just keep running it up and back and up and back. And that's basically how you're pushing the voltage through the wire so that you can collect more than just the little bit of electrolysis is coming through the upper section. It'll make sense in a minute. Get to the next piece. Oh, try that again. All right, there's what's sticking out of the top, where basically the ball is going to land on with all the mixed metals. This is hard to explain. It's a mixture of silver. It's a welding wire, but I know that it's conductive and magnetic when I add the mixture of, because it'll just eat this away if you don't add the cement. So you got to put the fireplace cement mixed with the steel over this, and then you'll have your rotating magnet field. After that, we have, okay, it's cutting out all the plates. Just some general information on how I did it, and no upper wiring yet, just the lower wiring. All right, here's some of the upper wiring. These are also in the rotation. You can see the little arrows so that you can tell which way which is going. And I'm getting ready to pour cement down on top of them. I may have freehanded it afterwards, but you don't freehand it. Use a cup around it so it doesn't get all out of whack. Okay, where did my arrow go? There you are. All right, that's the wire I used. It's just simple magnetic wire, like speaker wire. You can tell I'm using the 28 there. So basically what I did was I'd run 5 or 6 strands of this out and then spin it up with a drill So there's, you know, each wiring has 6 wires to 9 wires in it. It just depended on where I was and how much voltage I thought it would take. Last but not least, we have way up here, this is the top and bottom of the center section, which is going to have the magnetics rotating on this piece, and hopefully between the two of them, when the moisture gets in between them, it'll charge the moisture that's just loose in the air to keep it charged, because you know the voltage will drop as it goes. So that was just a booster. Next one is, yeah, more of the same. When I installed the steamers, I made sure that I used the cement with the metal metallics in it so that it would carry the voltage through. And then I was just lining plates up to make sure they were ready to fit on this thing when I was ready to install them. Last but not least, all right, these are basically all the forms, sacrificial foam for making the ball. And like I said, I only added foam, or I only added the metal mixed in with the mortar on the bottom side of this mushroom looking thing. So, you know, only the bottom rotates with the magnet field. The upper section is basically just for the debris. As they break down, there's an expansion area for your finer dust materials to collect up in here. I think that's about it. Yep, that's all of it. So you get the idea. It's basically a rotational wire, basically set up as a, you know, it's 2 different types of Tesla coils, and then I'm basically using the deterioration of steel and aluminum to power it. So with luck, this thing should run for, you know, years. I'm not sure how much voltage it makes, but it's done some strange things to me, so I'll just leave that alone. All right, ready to go.